Good afternoon, it is Friday the 21st of February. It's just coming up to 4:15 and I'm just about to head off out, do a little bit of Ubering. I haven't done any for, I think it's like the past 2 days, is it? I came out on Wednesday, so I thought it was 2 days. I've made a day off. I had 2 private jobs that I'd done yesterday, so yeah, there was no way I could be bothered coming out for the scraping the barrel for Uber. But obviously, as you know, if you watch the channel, I don't mind coming out on a Friday, Saturday night because normally it's busy. So yeah, just about to go online. I haven't got any like bookings or anything through Uber. So yeah, let's see what happens. So a little update. It is 7:30. So I came on about 4:15. I started, but then I had to go and do something. So I had to basically nip off to Southport, and it didn't come online until 5:30. So starting from 5:30, and I started in Southport. Came online, waited a couple of minutes, got a job, £4.73 for 4.2 miles. Wasn't the greatest. It was like a 15-minute job as well. I've noticed in the past 2 hours the jobs have all been, they seem to have been paying a lot less tonight. Like there's been some of the dip again in Uber's pricing. But then got offered a £3.81 for 1.8 miles, and I accepted it because I'd stopped at McDonald's to go for a wee, came out, logged back on, and then the job popped up to pick somebody up from McDonald's. So I thought, well, I might as well, because there was like 0 dead miles. After that, I'd done a £4.64 for 1.9 miles. Again, took like 7 minutes to do. And then I had a £7.47 for 2.1 miles. That took 7 minutes. I then had a £3.82 for 1.7 miles, another rubbish job. Then I had an XL, and I took it even though it was a bit of a crap fare. I was like half a mile away. It was £5.87 going 0.9 of a mile. It was like a mile and a half, which is a bit of a crap job really for an XL, especially when you're taking 6 people. They were only going from like Lord Street over to like the 10-pin bowling, but it's like, you know, normally you're getting offered like £8, £9, £10 for that job. So yeah, it was really low paying, that one. Dropped them off, then I had a £3.79 for 1.6 miles, a £3.81 for 1.4 miles, and then I've just done a £4.70 for 1.8 miles. So all the jobs have been like 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So they've all been crap paying. They haven't really been going massively far, but I've been concentrating more on the time it's going to take me. You know, it's like that XL one was like nearly £6 for a 5-minute job. You know, so I try and look at it as, well, if you're getting £12 every 10 minutes, it's got to quickly add up. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It just moves on to rubbish jobs. So yeah, like I said, I've just come up to the 2 hours now. I've done 9 trips. I'm on £44.64, so what, £22.32 an hour. It's okay. It's not the greatest, to be fair. I mean, it is a Friday night after all. I would have expected more. Doesn't really seem that busy as well. Some of the jobs, you know, there's been a couple of minutes, 5 minutes delay in between each one. And yet when they do come up, you look at them, you think, why is that paying peanuts? You know, as though it's like a weekday, whereas it's like 7:30 on a Friday night. So yeah, don't know. Let's see what happens over the next hour or two, and yeah, I'll keep you posted. So it's 8:30, and it is painful tonight, very painful. After that last little update, I had a £3.76 for 0.8 of a mile, a £3.78 for 0.4 of a mile. So that first job was 3 minutes, the second job was 2 minutes. I then had a £4.59 for 1.6 miles, which was 4 minutes. So when you start, I touched on it before, when you're doing all these little tiny jobs, you know, that's 10 minutes. You know, but then you've done like, what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've done like £12 in 10 minutes. So then you think, well, if that keeps going, it obviously works out like at a good hour. but just went really slow, and then I sat there for 20 minutes until I got my next job, and that was £3.77 for 1.4 miles. Just really crap. So yeah, in that past hour I've only done, what was the little breakdown when I came offline? I was offered 8 jobs and I've done 4 of them, and that was £15.90. So my hourly rate has dropped now because of that hour. So currently on £61.54 for the 3 hours. So that's what, £20.50 an hour for a Friday night. I don't know why it's so quiet. I just don't know why it's so bad. I haven't seen one little hint of any sort of like fake surge bubbles, or seen nothing whatsoever. I've had like 2 or 3 customers cancel on me. You're driving over towards them, they just think, oh, I can't be bothered waiting like 4 minutes for him. And then even then you think like you're driving 4 minutes over to them because it's like a 1-minute job and you're getting like £7. So I don't know if they're cancelling it because they realise they're paying a high price, or they're cancelling because they're thinking, I don't want to wait 4 minutes for an Uber. I just don't know how quick people want picking up these days. So yeah, it's crap. I mean, I haven't even used half a tank yet. It's half 8. I've got like, what, an hour and 20 minutes left, an hour and 15 before I normally head over to the charging point. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where I'm at in the next update, just over an hour's time. And yeah, I can't see me being on charge for the for even an hour, to be honest. So yeah, painfully slow. Don't know what to say. All the jobs have been really slow. I haven't really had a chance to have even much of a conversation with most people. So it's like this one's come up now, so it's 0.2 of a mile away, going a mile, £3.80. So it's like, I'll take it. Babs, go and pick Babs up from the train station. But yeah, the jobs are just the crap, and yeah, you can sit there and you can go, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do it. But then that's it, they're the only jobs. It's not like I'm cherry picking, it's that or nothing. But yeah, as I've mentioned, a lot of the times I don't mind doing that, because all the little jobs do quickly add up, you know, and that's, I do that most of the time, to be honest. And Friday, Saturday nights you can be on like, you know, £30+ an hour for doing them little jobs. I'd rather do that than, like, a job popped up before, it was like 20 quid to Liverpool, and I'm thinking, well, that's like just over an hour, and then I'm in Liverpool city centre and you've done all them miles. This other job popped up before, an XL. They wanted me to go 12.5 miles or 20 minutes to Liverpool to do a 10-minute job, which was 2.5 miles. So in all, it was about half an hour job they were claiming for 15 miles, and they were offering me £7.81. Yeah, so just they're the type of jobs that's popped up, and that's exactly why I've got no choice but to accept these little tiny ones that are coming through, because it's either that or switch the set off and go home. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to increase a little bit, but I'll catch you in a bit. So it's 9:30 and it's still crap. Yeah, so after that last update, it was that job I had. What was it? It was Babs, wasn't it, from the train station? So I picked her up. She'd been in work in Liverpool. Went out for a couple of drinks afterwards, and she said Liverpool was dead. Because she said to me, "Oh, how's Southport?" And I said it's dead here as well, to be honest. So yeah, because that was a little £3.80 job for like just over a mile. She's given me a £2 tip as well, so it's kind of made the job worthwhile in the end. Send the thanks. That then went on to a £3.74 for 1.3 miles. That was a 4-minute job. I then done a £4.15 for 2.5 miles. That was a 5-minute job. And then I've just done, after waiting 15 minutes, a £3.76 for 1.3 miles. That was a 4-minute job. So in the past hour, the little summary said I've been offered 8 jobs on a Friday night. Wow. And I've completed 4, which was £17.45. So I've done 4 hours. I'm currently on £78.99, which which comes out at £19.75 an hour. So each hour it's basically been dropping an hour. Each hour it's been dropping about £1 an hour average. So yeah, I'm down to £19.75 an hour now. So yeah, I've got about 20-25 minutes left. I'll go and get on charge. Don't really know if it's worth it, to be honest. I mean, I suppose I'm just kind of gambling. Yeah, I've got two options. I can either stay out for like another half an hour or so and then head home, or I can go and jump on charge, which isn't going to quite be an hour because I've still got just over a third of a tank left. It's going to cost me probably about £15 to fill the tank back up, and then carry on again. I don't know. Hopefully it's a little bit busier later on. But yeah, really shocking, really quiet. So yeah, I'll log back on, and yeah, the next update will be after I've been on charge. So yeah, I'm going to go on charge between like 10 and 11. So yeah, the next update will be around midnight. So I'll see you then. So it's 1 o'clock and I've just got home. It's a little bit noisy. I've got the car plugged in and I've plugged in my my big 1 kilowatt battery behind my seat. So it's that's what the humming noise is. Yeah. Anyway, it was crap. So I was yeah. So yeah, it was 9:30, wasn't it? I was milling about just before I went over on charge. So I think I'd done 2 last jobs. 378 for 0.4 of a mile, and then a 474 for 2.4 miles. So that was a 2-minute job and then a 7-minute job. Got to the charger pretty much bang on 10 o'clock. Went on charge, came off charge at 11:30. So I didn't have to stay there for an hour and a half, but once again I got carried away watching Squid Games. Finished season 2. Bit crap, to be honest. First season a lot better than the second one. Came back online. Got a little £4 2p job for 1.5 miles, which took 4 minutes. Then wait around for about 5 minutes. Got a £4.11 for 2 miles. And then what did I do then? Straight on to another little job, £3.78 for 1 mile, and then a £3.79 for 1.5 miles. But I waited around for about 15-20 minutes for that job, so I thought I'll start heading back towards like Ormskirk. So on the way back to Ormskirk, I picked up a job which was like Skelmersdale to Ormskirk, so at least it paid for, you know, half of the way back. So that was £6.98 for 3.6 miles. I got into Ormskirk, and Ormskirk was just as dead, if not deader, if that's even a word, than Southport. There was just nothing going on. There was Ubers and Deltas and everything parked up all over the place. And by this time it was, what time was it? About midnight. Midnight. So I said to myself, I'll give it like 10 or 15 minutes, see if any jobs pop up. So some jobs were popping up, but they would take me like £1 a mile, you know, like 10-15 miles all the way into Liverpool. One was going to like Matthew Street, which is like Liverpool city centre. There's no way I can be faffed with that. Because the thing is, it's like an XL job, so basically people have gone out round Ormskirk, they've got canned up, it's midnight, and they thought, come on, let's carry the party on into Liverpool, because obviously Ormskirk shuts at like 1 to 2 o'clock. So you've then got 6 people all ranting and raving, you know, for like 40 minutes all the way into Liverpool, and they'll be wanting to stop for a pee and everything. So honestly, I've done it, and it's a nightmare doing it. It's not worth doing it. Yeah, so it was just crap, and then I started getting offered like really stupid jobs. Like one was an XL job. They wanted me to go 10 miles to Liverpool to then do a 0.8 of a mile job. So it was 10 miles, a 25-minute job, and they were offering me £5.29. and then I was in Ormskirk. They were offering me a job to go 11 miles or 17 minutes to Wigan to do a 2-mile job or a 7-minute trip. So that was like 13 miles or about 25 minutes, and they were offering me £7.95. And again, this is at like 1:45 in the morning. So I was like, right, I'm leaving. So basically from 11:30 when I came back on after my charge until I came off when I got home, I was offered 24 trips and I only accepted 5 of them. So all the rest were just ridiculous. So in that last hour and a half I only made £22.68. So for the night, it's one of the slowest nights I've done, I think. £111.19, and that was for 6 hours. It's just so quiet. It's just, you just can't do anything. Technically, because it's warmer, I could have came out earlier. I know I was supposed to start at like 4:15, which ended up being 5:30, but I reckon I could have came out at like 3 o'clock, if not a bit earlier. And the battery would have lasted me until 10 o'clock. But then saying that, it was just really quiet. So I ended up finishing for an average of £18.50 an hour. So when I done the first update at 7:30, it was £21.50 an hour, and then 8:30 it was £20 an hour, 9:30 £19.75 an hour, and then 1 o'clock when I finished £18.50 an hour. So as you can see, the later the night got on, the jobs just became less and less paying and less frequent. So it was just, yeah, it was just a crap night all around, to be honest. It was just really crap, really slow. The jobs that were coming through were tiny. And like I said, £111 for a Friday night shift. For last Friday was 160. Friday before that was 120. That was the first week of Feb. Towards the end of Jan, even that was 145. That was 106. That was the 24th. 17th of Jan. Wow, that was 84. The 10th of Jan, 130. Yeah, so it's just been really crap. I had a bit of a funny one where it was like my last job I took in Southport before I started heading back. It was near the Grand Hotel. I was on Lord Street. It's down the far end of Lord Street. So as I'm pulling up towards the customer, there's a car facing basically the wrong way, got his headlights on. So I'm indicating to pull in, like kind of just in front of him. And as I'm pulling in, he pulls off. So as he pulls off, I thought, well, I'll go forward a bit more, because that's basically where the green dot was, where they wanted picking up from. So as I pulled forward a bit more, I noticed the car that pulled off, the brake lights come on. He waited a second in the middle of the road and then done a U-turn and started coming back again. Now bearing in mind, there was me and him, and that was it on Lord Street. Down that end of Lord Street there was nothing. The only people I could see was 2 doormen stood on the bar. There was absolutely nothing going on, and that was that like little £4 job I was taking. So anyway, I pull up, I sit there waiting, hazards are on, and I'm waiting, and then I see him pull up behind me, and then he's gone right up my arse, and I'm thinking, what's he doing? So I thought, I don't know. So I sat there for a second, and the next thing he flashes his headlights. So I have a little look, and I think, was that for me, or maybe he's waiting for a customer? Because I then realised it was a taxi. I thought maybe he's flashing his headlights to attract his customer. And then I hear a beep, and then I flash the headlights. So I look, and I'm thinking, is he trying to signal me? I'm not sure what's going on. So I carry on waiting, and next thing I hear, oh, out the window. So I look, and he's got his window down, and he's like shouting, and I'm thinking, how am I supposed to hear that when I'm in front of him? My window's shut. So I think, what's he going on? I'm like, he must be trying to talk to me. So while my window down, I pop my head out, and I'm saying, what did you say? And he's going, you're in a taxi rank, my friend. I was like, am I? So I turn around, I look, there's no signs. I'm looking on the floor, can't see any paint markings or anything. So I'm like, so I look in front of me, and all that's in front of me is a solid yellow line leading probably like another 20 metres to the corner of the road. So I thought, well, am I or aren't I? So like I'm leaning out my window and I'm pulling forward a little bit, and I can see like the odd little spot of paint on the floor, which I'm thinking it might have been one at some point. It looked like someone had been out and put some like little dots down on the floor. It might have been him for all I know, because the only taxi rank that I know that's on Lord Street is right down the other end of Lord Street, where there's always like 30 or 40 hackneys parked in. So I thought, well, is it? So like I kind of started pulling forward, and I could see like a couple little dots. I thought it might be. I thought, I'll just pull forward, because if it is a taxi rank, I don't want to be parked in a taxi rank, and I can't be bothered arguing with someone for the sake of what. So I start pulling forward, and he's like creeping up behind me. So I thought, well, I'll park here because it's a yellow line. That's obviously not a taxi rank. So I pull forward, and then I look at my near side mirror, and then there's no yellow line there. So it looks like right down the far end. If you know it, it's down by where the fire station is. It's down that end, and it looks like at some point they've stuck in, must have been like in the 80s, a taxi rank for 2 taxis, and they haven't updated the paint since probably the 80s. There's no signs up or anything saying it's a taxi rank. So I pull forward onto the yellow line, because that's where I'm picking the customer from, and he carries on. So he's right up my arse, honestly. He was right up my browns there, and then he sits there, and like he must have almost been like kissing me bumper, and I'm thinking, why has he done that? Because he's pulled off. I think what's happened is he's pulled off, he's seen me pull up, and he's obviously thought, look at that Uber driver there parking there in that taxi rank. That's my taxi rank, that. So he's turned round and rejoined the taxi rank to basically tell me it's a taxi rank, to get me to pull forward so I wasn't in the taxi rank, which I still don't believe was a taxi rank. I'll have to have a little look on Google Maps, or I'll have a look tomorrow when I'm back in Southport. And so I pulled forward. Like, I would have understand if there was like a load of taxis there, there's a big queue of people all getting in, but there's me, there's him. Well, there was just me. There was only him because he decided to do a U-turn and come back, and 2 doormen, and that was it. There was nobody else there on Lord Street, and he's come back to try and like prove some sort of point. So then, just to annoy him, I've pulled forward onto the yellow line. That's not a taxi rank, and then he's just pulled in behind me and then sat there. And I thought, you've obviously just left here because there is no customers. I was picking up this last customer, and then I had in my head, right, I'm going to drop these off, and then I'm leaving Southport because there's no business here. And this absolute clown is thinking, right, I'm going to police this fake taxi rank here because we don't want Uber drivers parking here. Oh, honestly, it was so funny, but at the same time, like, I felt bad for him, because I thought, like, this is what your shift has come to. Your shift has come to, let's not try and find customers. Let's try and police this little taxi rank. And the thing is, he's probably a bit of a clown, and that's why he's not joining the main taxi rank further down, because obviously all the others have probably said, look, we don't like you, don't come and park with us, because down the far end where like the main taxi rank is, that is their parking bays during the day, and there's a sign up saying I think it's from 6 PM they're no longer parking bays, and it then becomes a taxi rank. So they've got nice displayed signs that you can see the taxi rank is all well painted and everything, and that's where all the hackneys go to park. So this guy's obviously been kicked out of the taxi rank gang, so basically he's sitting down the other end of Lord Street policing that. So yeah, other than that, that was the only kind of excitement I've had tonight, really. Yeah, other than that, I've just got back, wonder why my car wasn't charging up, because that's supposed to click on at 11:30, and for the first time ever since I've had the charger, which has been like 3 years, the breaker in the garage had tripped, so I've had to go in and flick it back on. A little bit of boring news there for you, but it just means like the car's missed like an hour of charge on the cheap charging rate at night. So that's on now. Plugged my car in, but it's on just over 3/4 of a tank. I say tank, I keep calling it a tank like it's a diesel. My battery is over 3/4. Yeah, so I've put that back on charge. It was pointless me going back on charge, to be honest, but I'm one of them where I don't really like to just throw the towel in, especially with it being a Friday night, and I thought if I just come home now, I could have had like a little decent run on towards the end, and it, you know, I might have finished the night on like £25–30 an hour or something. So I've stayed out. I've put like £20 of juice in it, which then obviously eats away at that, doesn't it? Because, you know, I was on what, 111, so £20 of that I've charged up, and I didn't need to charge up because I've used probably £5 of that. Pretty pointless, really. But yeah, other than that, let's hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. I had some people saying like there's supposed to be some big massive boxing fight going on tomorrow. I've got no idea, don't follow boxing. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better, and I will catch you on tomorrow's video.